All right, so I'll go over a few of the pieces here to use for payroll stuff. So first thing is I'll go to users and staff. You might be using the other layout that has a different menu system. So you navigate to admin and then manage users. And from here, so this is just a test account, but in here you can do like payroll config, and then that's where you could set an hourly wage, for example. And then you can also set number of sick days per year and vacation days per year as well. And this will just show you on the report how many they have left based on what they've used. So you can save those payroll settings. So I'll just set this to 20, for example. I'll say they have 6 per year, vacation 7, save payroll settings, boom. So that'll be done now. So for this guy here, boom, boom, boom. And then, so they would clock in and out. And then what you can do is go reports, view all reports. You can also click the little button up here, stats and reports. And then from there, then click staff. And then on the staff page, you're going to want this one here, the staff time clock. So if we click that, boom. So then what you're going to see now is a list of staff members. And so you can go through and they'll have set their hours. So I'll just set some just to make some. So we'll say they started 9:30 and they went until, let's say, 5:30. Okay, do they have any break time? 50 minutes, save hours, boom. So it'll show up stuff like this, but then you can also say like, they had a sick day, maybe they had a vacation day, vacation, vacation, and then they came back to work. So I'll just set another one, 9 to 5, break time. We'll say 30 minutes, save hours. Okay, perfect. And you'll see here they have $20 an hour, 6 days per year, 7 days per year. So it just shows you kind of a highlight. So they'll have entered their time and everything like that in the system, and they would do that at this link here. Yours will be different. It'll be custom to whatever what your business ID is basically. And how can I click the back button? A second here. Okay, I don't know. There we go. Okay, I'll go back. I can't reach it because the record button is on top of where the back button is. So, all right, staff, and then I'll go staff time clock again. And so then this is where you'd see all their hours and stuff. But then if I scroll down, oh, and one actual last thing I'll highlight here, literally, is you can highlight row. So when you do that, it just blocks out the other ones so you can focus on just that one. So when you're looking at this, there's a lot going on with all the stuff on the screen. So you could say highlight row, and that way you only see that person's thing. It just helps sometimes when there's a lot of data on the screen. But scrolling down, this is where you're going to have the staff time report. And so using the same test that I did before, so $20 per hour and then yearly allowances, 6 sick days, 7 vacation days. And so it'll have that listed. Now the time report, I'm going to have to change the dates here, but basically, so work time, it'll show, what they've done and then their pay. It does kind of so here 160, and then some people they don't pay breaks. Depends on, like, I don't know what the rules are where you are, or how you have it set up structured in your company, but basically, so at our shop we pay breaks. So they're just paid for if they're at work, they're at work, and we're kind of flexible with breaks. But yeah, because most of the guys, to be honest, they just like scarf down food quick. So oftentimes we just get them pizza, we get them subs, or there's a nice taco place around the corner, we get them that, and they just kind of scarf it down and go back to work. They just want to work, to be honest, and make the day go by faster. So some people want to know, excluding breaks, what they would be paid based on the hours they put in. And then it would show their pay. That's based on the 20 per hour. If you don't set it, then the system doesn't know what they're supposed to be paid. So if I had logged time here, so if Adam clocked in, it wouldn't have any pay to display because we don't have an hourly rate for him, right? So putting in an hourly rate helps. So we put that in. Even with our guys, that we have some guys that they do, like everyone gets a base. We have to, no matter what, where we are. But we have some guys that accept minimum in exchange for getting higher commission, and then we have others that want a higher salary, but they don't get any commission. So we have a varying structure like that. So in those cases, we always put in whatever their base is, but if they're also getting commission, we track that as well, and that's where it says like commissions here. So we put that in, and then it'll show the commissions that they're to be paid. But here, basically, you would see, the hours worked, and then the breaks, and then there's also a breakdown. This is more for accounting. Some accountants do things on like a decimal system instead. So like fractions of an hour kind of thing. So that's helpful in case you have that. And then it'll show you work time minus breaks, and then number of days worked and so on and so forth. And then, yeah, so that's essentially the gist of that. And it'll show kind of what they have. Now, this guy's sick days and vacation days aren't showing up because, and this is important, is that this top part here, the staff time clock, oops, it uses a different time range. So it goes based on a week start. So you would choose like the week start when you want it to start kind of thing, and it'll show you the week of. So in this case, it's set to the 20th because that's what today is. So it'll say week start 20th, and then it'll show these dates. Now, these dates are all in the future right now. So when I mark sick day, vacation day, and then these work hours, for example, they're not going to show in this report down here because that's in the future, and this is using its own date range. So for example, if I want those included, I could choose a different date range, change date, and then now you'll see, so there's the sick days and the 3 vacation days that we had put in above, and then 16 hours work time, and then it shows their total pay, and then excluding breaks. And then what we do is we put everything in as expenses when we pay them out. We put it in and we have a payroll category. We just mark it payroll, and then we put in whatever was paid out to them so that it reflects on all of our stats. And it shows that, what money was in. So our P&L kind of balances out. And then our accountant handles the actual HR side of things with, payroll and stuff like that. We just hire a company. I don't know, we pay them like, I think it's like 500 something a month, something like that. I don't know. It's less than $1,000, but anyways, we pay them that every month, and they just handle the payroll for 14 people. So, yeah, that's kind of what we do at our shop, and that's how you could use these reports to track that, and then have them clock in. What we do is we have a tablet mounted, and we have it in what's called kiosk mode, and then we just access our link here. We put that in the browser, and that's the only thing that can be accessed on that tablet, essentially. So that's what we've done. We mount it on the wall, and then they punch in there. But we've been playing around with this new USB system that we have that we're working on getting it connected with OrbisX as well, because then they have like key cards and they just tap. But to be honest, like the key card thing, like it sounds great. These guys sometimes like they go on, the break or something, and they got their gloves on, and their gloves are full of like stuff, and they're touching up the key card, and then next thing you know, the machine gets all dirty. It's like it's a mess. We found with the tablet thing, they never use their actual hand. They go and they take the glove off. I don't know why. It's just like a different psychological thing. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. Reality is they can clock in from like a tablet, or you could have like a centralized computer, or they can sign in from their phone as well. Some people they're like, oh, I don't want them signing in from their phone because they're gonna clock wrong hours or something like that. Just pay attention to your staff and see if you notice any patterns. You got to kind of give people enough rope to hang themselves with, and you got to give them some trust. If they feel like you're trying to nickel and dime them for every, like, don't get me wrong, labor is expensive. It's the most expensive thing of running a business in most cases, and so keeping up on that is important, but also looking at the bigger picture. Like you put a lot of training and time into a staff member, even if it's a subcontractor, like working with those partnerships, and the subcontractors even worse because they could walk away a lot more easily. So just keeping them happy and not nickel and diming everything is always what I recommend, and just kind of making sure that everything kind of balances out in a fair way, because there's going to be times where you ask them like, hey, I need you to do XYZ, and it's going to be kind of over and above. So they'll be willing to do that for you if they know, like, okay, he's not like clocking my every 2 minutes. You know what I mean? That I'm on break or whatever it is. So anyway, you'll gauge things. That's your own business, of course. Just my 2 cents. But yeah, so you can use this link here on a tablet or a centralized location. Have them sign in. They can clock in and out. They can use a little button in the bottom. You can't see it. Shoot, it's just outside the screen. But anyway, they could go here and then they could click like start work, for example. And so if I click start work, then boom, now I'm clocked in. And then when I go on break, I can do start break or I can do finish work. And then that all gets recorded like up in this section here in the staff time report. Or sorry, that'll get recorded here first in the staff time clock, and then it'll show up in your staff time report as they log hours.